All right, guys. All right, all right. I have a story for you. It's called The True Story of the Three Little Pigs. Do you guys know the story of the Three Little Pigs? You do. All right. This is the true story. All right, you ready? Everyone knows the story of the Three Little Pigs, or at least they think they do. But I'll let you in on a little secret. Nobody knows the real story because nobody has ever heard my side of the story. Whose side of the story are we going to hear today? The side of the wolf. I'm the wolf, Alexander T. Wolf. You can call me Al. I don't know how this whole big bad wolf thing got started, but it's all wrong. Maybe it's because of our diet. Hey, it's not my fault wolves like to eat cute little animals like bunnies, sheep, and pigs. But that's the way we are. If cheeseburgers were cute, folks would probably think you were big and bad too. Who likes cheeseburgers? I'll tell you, do not put a bunny on my cheeseburger. But like I was saying, the whole big bad wolf thing is all wrong. The real story is about the sneeze and a cup of sugar. All right, this is the real story. Sorry, guys. All right. Way back in Once Upon a Time, I was making a birthday cake for my dear old granny. I had a terrible sneezing cold and I ran out of sugar. Oh, man. So I walked down the street to ask my neighbor for a cup of sugar. Now, my neighbor was a pig. He wasn't too bright either, and he built his whole house out of straw. Can you believe it? I mean, who in his right mind would build a house out of straw? Do you think a house made of straw would hold? Is it going to hold from his sneeze? Of course, the minute I knocked on the door, it fell right in. I didn't want to just walk into someone's house, so I called, "Little pig, are you in?" No answer. I was just about to go home with my cup of sugar for my dear old granny's birthday cake. That's when my nose started to itch. I felt a sneeze coming on. I huffed and I snuffed. Uh-oh. And I sneezed a great sneeze. Uh-oh, and you see a little piggy in here. Uh-oh. And you know what? That whole darn straw house fell down. And right in the middle of the pile of straw was the first pig, dead as a doornail. He had been home the whole time. It seemed like a shame to leave a perfectly good ham dinner lying there in the straw, so I ate it up. Think of it as a big cheeseburger just laying there. That's where he got in trouble. He ate the pig, huh? I was feeling a little better, but I still didn't have my cup of sugar, so I went to the next door neighbor's house. This neighbor was the first little pig's brother. He was smarter, but not by much. He had built his house out of sticks. I rang the bell on the stick house, and nobody answered. I called, Mr. Pig, are you in?" He yelled back, "Go away, Wolf. You can't come in. I'm shaving the hairs on my chinny chin. You see the pig shaving? That's silly. I had just grabbed the doorknob when I felt another sneeze coming on. I huffed and I snuffed and I tried to cover my mouth, but it sneezed a great sneeze. And you're not going to believe it, but this guy's house fell down like his brother's. When the dust cleared, there was a second little pig, dead as a doornail, Wolf's honor. Now, you know, food will spoil if you just leave it out in the open. So I did the only thing there was to do. I had dinner again. thinking of it as like a second helping. I was getting awfully full, but my cold was feeling a little better. I still didn't have that cup of sugar for dear old Granny's birthday cake. So I went to the next guy's house. This guy was the first and second little pig's brother. He must have been the brains of the family. He had built his house of bricks. I knocked on the brick house. No answer. I called, Mr. Pig, are you in? And do you know that this rude little porker answered, Get out here, wolf. Don't bother me again. Talk about impolite. He probably had a whole sack full of sugar, and he wouldn't give me even one little cup for my dear sweet old Granny's birthday cake. What a pig. I was just about to go home and maybe make a nice birthday card instead of a cake when I felt my cold coming on. I huffed and I snuffed and I sneezed once again. And the third little pig yelled, And your old Granny can sit on a pin. Oh. You just want some sugar. You just want to share, right? I'm usually a pretty calm fellow, but when somebody talks about my granny like that, I go a little crazy. When the cops drove up, of course, I was trying to break down the pig's door, and the whole time I was huffing and puffing and sneezing and making a real scene. Uh-oh. The rest, as they say it, is history. The news reporters found out about the 2 pigs I'd had for dinner. They figured a sick guy was going to borrow a cup of sugar didn't sound very exciting, so they jazzed up the story with all that huff, puff, and blow your house storm, and they made me the big bad wolf. That's it. Real story. I was framed. So maybe you could loan me a cup of sugar? Aw, all he wanted was to make his grandma a birthday cake. And I would have shared some sugar with him. Would you share sugar with the big bad wolf? All right, guys. See you Friday.